Welcome back to Imbila Studio. Today, we are breaking down a massive shift in the software landscape. You are looking at the union of two very different powerhouses. On the left, you have Anthropic, the AI giant, and on the right, you have Bun, the incredibly fast JavaScript runtime. This isn't just a corporate merger, it is the birth of what we are calling the AI native stack. Let's look at the specifics of this deal because the numbers tell a fascinating story. Anthropic has acquired Bun for an undisclosed amount, but the real headline here is the strategic rationale. Anthropic has achieved a $1 billion revenue run rate with Claude Code in just 6 months. That is staggering growth. By acquiring Bun, they are securing the very infrastructure that powers that growth. And for the open source community, the good news is that Bun retains its MIT license and its roadmap remains focused on performance. To understand why this match makes sense, we need to look at the trajectories of these two companies. On one side, Anthropic has exploded from $1 billion to $7 billion in revenue in less than a year, capturing a huge chunk of the enterprise market. On the other side, you have Bun, which was created by Jared Sumner, essentially out of frustration with slow tools. It hit 7 million monthly downloads because velocity-focused companies like Midjourney needed that speed. These two lines on the graph are converging for a reason. So why Bun specifically? Why not just stick with Node.js like everyone else? It comes down to the engine. Node uses V8, but Bun is built on JavaScriptCore, which is what powers Safari. This gives it a massive advantage in startup speed. Plus, Bun is written in Zig, a low-level language that allows for incredible memory control. When you are building an AI that writes and runs code thousands of times a day, that difference between the gray bar and the orange bar on this chart isn't just a benchmark. It is the difference between a sluggish agent and a real-time flow. Let's look at the hard data. When you throw 500 concurrent connections at these runtimes, Bun handles the load in 27 seconds, while Node takes 50. In the world of high-frequency AI operations, where an agent might be spinning up thousands of microenvironments to test code, that latency adds up fast. Bun excels at these I/O-bound tasks, which is exactly what an AI agent spends most of its time doing. This creates a formalized, symbiotic relationship. Think about it this way, Claude Code. Claude Code was already built on Bun. As Jared Sumner put it, if Bun breaks, Claude Code breaks. Anthropic had to de-risk that dependency. For Bun, this acquisition solves the age-old open-source problem of monetization. Now the team can skip the scramble for cash and focus entirely on building the best tooling possible without compromising the open-source product. This creates a formalized, symbiotic relationship. Think about it this way, Claude Code. Claude Code was already built on Bun. As Jared Sumner put it, if Bun breaks, Claude Code breaks. Anthropic had to de-risk that dependency. For Bun, this acquisition solves the age-old open-source problem of monetization. Now the team can skip the scramble for cash and focus entirely on building the best tooling possible without compromising the open-source product. There is also a financial narrative here that is critical for Wall Street. This acquisition was announced the very same day Anthropic hired a top-tier IPO law firm. That is not a coincidence. With a massive cash burn of nearly $3 billion, Anthropic needs to show investors that they are capital efficient. This deal signals operational maturity and proves they can deploy capital strategically to secure their future, not just burn it on compute. Naturally, the community had mixed reactions. You saw the skeptics immediately worrying about a rug pull or Bun becoming a paid product. But the optimists and the strategic thinkers realized the truth. Anthropic bought Bun because it is critical infrastructure. As one Hacker News user pointed out, if you view Bun as a cloud-native, self-contained runtime, it is the perfect vessel for an AI agent to live in. So what does this mean for you as a developer? In the short term, expect Claude Code to get much faster. We are talking about tighter integration and lower latency. You are going to see new workflows where the AI installs dependencies, runs tests, and bootstraps projects natively because it controls the entire toolchain. And again, the core promise stands. Bun remains open source. This slide represents the biggest paradigm shift. The old way of doing things involved an AI model sequentially calling external tools, stopping and waiting for results, which polluted the context window. The new way is programmatic tool use. The AI generates a code snippet and executes it inside a sandboxed Bun runtime. It is faster, it uses fewer tokens, and it is more powerful. Bun's fast startup time makes it the perfect disposable sandbox for this kind of ephemeral AI-generated code. We are witnessing the death of the LAMP stack and the rise of the AI native stack. In this new world, you have agentic logic like Claude Code replacing the application layer, and agentic infrastructure like Bun replacing the traditional server runtime. This is backed by AI-optimized silicon like Trainium. This stack is going to define how software is built from 2025 onwards, shifting the developer's role from writing code to orchestrating these systems. As we wrap up, there are some big strategic questions left on the table. For investors, will this efficiency narrative hold up during the IPO? For developers, will Anthropic steer Bun too far towards AI use cases, ignoring general web development? And for enterprises, is Anthropic's safety branding enough to secure the market against political headwinds? These are the questions that will define the next few years. Ultimately, this is more than an acquisition. It is a watershed moment. Anthropic's purchase of Bun validates the rise of agentic coding. They are telling us that the race is no longer just about building the smartest model. It is about owning the entire ecosystem where that model lives and works. That is the AI native stack, and it is here to stay. Thanks for watching. This slide deck was made by Imbila Studio using deck2vid.imbila.ai from a Notebook LLM slide deck.